Today on Discover Wisconsin, we visit an area rich in history. From submarines to art museums, they have it all.
With endless amounts of fun, learning, and exploring year-round.
Well, I say we coast for a while. Manitowoc and Two Rivers, here we come.
Hello and welcome to Discover Wisconsin.
This is an anthem for those who look for more and never say they've seen it all. Windows down, let's take a ride. The Fairland's great tonight.
If you live in Wisconsin, our state's already a drive-to destination for you. But what about everyone else? On this episode of Discover Wisconsin, we're starting things off in Michigan. Like thousands of people before me, I'm hopping aboard the SS Badger. No, not this boat, that one. Destination, Manitowoc. See you soon.
All right, we're not gonna wait 4 more hours from Rye to get here from across the lake. It's time to do some exploring.
And the best way to do it is to ride the Mariners Trail between Manitowoc and Two Rivers. Located on the Lake Michigan coast, Manitowoc and Two Rivers are communities connected not only through their rich history and culture, but with a multi-use trail known as the Mariners Trail. This 5.5-mile trail links the Manitowoc Marina to the Lighthouse Inn in Two Rivers. The trail is free to all users, and it's great for bikers, walkers, joggers, and inline skaters. And the views of Lake Michigan along the way, they can't be beat. Taking the trail north from Manitowoc, you'll enter the town of Two Rivers, which is home to 2 pristine beach areas, Point Beach State Forest and Neshota Beach. Each offers the perfect getaway oasis and the best staging area to take in Lake Michigan. Near the end of summer, Neshota Beach plays host to a kite festival known as Kites Over Lake Michigan. It attracts thousands of people from all over the country.
This is one of the premier kite festivals, not just around here, but in the Midwest because of the number it draws in. We have people from all over the states that come in and watch the performers do their routines. The stunt team flyers fly 2 lines and quad lines. They perform with music and synchronize with the music. It is amazing. If you take a look at the beach right here, we have one of the best beaches in the state, if not the best. And it is nicely groomed, wide, and it's a great place to fly kites and have a picnic and do all kinds of activities.
Hang out in Two Rivers for a bit, and you'll no doubt get a sense of the pride this community has when it comes to fishing and their shipbuilding history. Listed on the National Register of Historic Places, the Rogers Street Fishing Village features an old fishing tug called the Buddy O, the 1886 North Pier Lighthouse, and countless other artifacts from shipwrecks and old fishing vessels.
While I love nautical history, Manitowoc and Two Rivers also provides a lot of arts and entertainment. The Capitol Civic Center in downtown Manitowoc is a great place to start.
Hi, and welcome to the Capitol. Hope you come inside, enjoy the show.
The Capitol Civic Center is a nonprofit, a charitable organization, a community-based performing arts center that serves Northeast Wisconsin with a wide array of wonderful live performance, and there's nothing quite like it. The old Capitol Theater was built in 1921 during the era of vaudeville and silent movies, and this was one of many palaces built in the 20s for that purpose all around the country in communities large and small, including communities as small as Manitowoc. Then in the mid-80s, with the building very much past its prime, it was acquired and a nonprofit was formed to save and operate the Capitol Theater as a community performing arts center. And we've been doing that since 1987, when there was a major renovation and restoration, and it became beautiful again as it was back in the 20s. So the ability to come in a beautiful venue like this and see something that makes you laugh or cry or just lift your spirits, it's inspiring and it's magical. And this is a town and an area incredibly rich in performing arts talent and passion. We have more than a dozen resident companies that call this stage home. Live performance touches and elevates all of us, whether it's music or theater or dance. And this is a type of facility that makes the whole community more attractive and elevates our quality of life.
From festivals to performances at the Capitol, there's always something going on in the Manitowoc and Two Rivers area. Learn what events you can attend by visiting discoverwisconsin.com and choosing Manitowoc Two Rivers as your destination. Up next, Eric and I visit Raw West Art Museum and have two completely different experiences.
You won't want to miss this. Stay tuned.
We're back discovering the Manitowoc and Two Rivers area. When you want to see artwork from Georgia O'Keeffe, Pablo Picasso, or Andy Warhol, you're probably picturing a museum in a bigger city like Chicago or Milwaukee, right? Well, you just might be surprised to learn that artwork from those artists can be viewed right here in Manitowoc. Look no further than the Raw West Art Museum.
When an outsider wants to come visit the museum, what are they going to get when they come?
Well, you know, the entire museum is free and open to the public. And it's not just world-class artwork in the galleries. We've got a 19th century Victorian mansion. 3 stories of that is open to the public with a variety of great art and furniture from the mansion, the collection of the people that live there. So you're getting that historical and architectural experience in the mansion.
And for a different viewing experience of the mansion, make sure you visit during the holidays when the mansion is all decked out with trees and lights galore.
The gallery spaces, which are filled with wonderful art, many from the 20th century and many more modernistic, that kind of experience is also part of it. We also have multi-purpose rooms, a discovery room for families, and a wide variety of changing exhibits. We have about 13 different exhibits that we run yearly out of the Raw West. So there's always new things going on here.
Well, Greg, I'm having a spark of creativity of my own. Help me out here.
Well, Abby, today's your lucky day because we have our Wacky Weekend workshop going on. Every month here at the Raw West, we have a free family workshop where we allow people to come in and really bring out the true artists in themselves.
Yeah. And now I must transform into Abby, the artist.
I'm gonna grab one of these. Hi there.
Hi. Welcome to Wacky Weekend Workshop.
Thanks for having me.
Nice to have you. Today we're gonna make some snowmen.
Okay.
So if you come on over, I'll get you all set up. So here's what we're doing.
Okay.
You've got your own pot right over here to paint.
All right.
And then once it's all painted, you get to decide how you want to decorate them.
Make my masterpiece now.
Go for it.
Aw, just the cutest little snowman. A masterpiece.
Not too shabby. Well, if this weekend isn't wacky enough for you, join Eric at Sputnik Fest, which is held on the museum grounds in early September.
So why is everybody here today? Because of this right here. This is the spot where a piece of Sputnik landed in 1962. Well, not so much landed as crashed directly in front of the museum. So what is Sputnik Fest? It's a way to bring the community together to celebrate a piece of history. See what I did there? So why not throw a party for this special event in Manitowoc's history? That's what I say. I recommend dressing up so you can fit in with the rest of the crowd. Take part in all sorts of activities like downhill racing, a pet costume contest, and even an alien drop, just to name a few.
Our winner is...
And since we're kind of on a museum theme here, let's head to Two Rivers and see what theirs features.
Hamilton Wood Type and Printing Museum is a place to learn. It's a place that you can look into the past. It's a way you can explore American history, and it's a place where you can take up the tools yourself and learn how we talked to each other back in the day. So a lot of the equipment that you see in this museum doesn't exist anywhere else in the United States. This is the world's largest collection, and the breadth of the equipment and the methods that are still alive are only here in a lot of ways. What I think is one of the best things about the experience at the Hamilton Museum is that you can enjoy it in a number of ways, from the very limited walking through on your own, a guided tour, or even the possibility of a workshop like we're running today, so that there is that opportunity for you too to understand how ink goes on paper, maybe make a few prints during a workshop. So I think the variety is what's great.
Be sure to check out a bonus video from the Hamilton Museum and learn when you can participate in RAR West's next Wacky Weekend Workshop by visiting discoverwisconsin.com. Just choose Manitowoc Two Rivers as your destination. Well, it looks like Mariah is still making her way over, so I still have time to discover a little more history about the Manitowoc and Two Rivers area. See you soon. Put down the remote and coast for a while, today on Discover Wisconsin. Just outside of Manitowoc's city limits, you can take a walk back in the past in a time-capsuled village.
Pinecrest Historical Village is owned by the Manitowoc County Historical Society. The land was donated to us in 1970. The village was started in 1974 with the purpose of preserving the past history of Manitowoc County for future generations so they can see what a typical Manitowoc County village would have been like late 1800s, early 1900s by the buildings we have represented here.
Numerous volunteers help bring Pinecrest to life, and the buildings from Manitowoc County's past help provide the stage for this replicated late 1800s village. Unique events throughout the year put you smack dab in the era.
It's Rural Life Days at Pinecrest Historical Village. I gotta thresh some oats. It's time to get to work.
Rural Life Days helps you discover what life was like back in the day and features farm tractors, steam engines, and numerous activities. With everything going on here, I almost forgot about Mariah. I wonder how far along she is.
Oh, you know, I'm on my way. Just taking the ferry, relaxing. All right, so my trip started in Ludington, Michigan, but I'm on my way to Manitowoc. The SS Badger Ferry makes multiple trips from Ludington to Manitowoc every day. I used my charm and Discover Wisconsin credentials to join Captain Mike at the helm. You have quite an office view, my friend.
I do.
Pretty lucky.
Yes, I think this is probably one of the nicest views on the entire planet.
I wouldn't argue that. Yeah, a view you probably never get sick of, I would imagine.
We never get sick of it. One thing about Lake Michigan, it's never the same thing twice.
Now, let's talk about the ship itself. I was saying earlier, one of the first things that surprised me was the size of it. First of all, I've been on a few ferries. This one's pretty big. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Give me those numbers. How long is it?
Sure, we're 410 feet long. We can carry about 180 automobiles.
What year was it built?
1953.
Wow, okay. And it's been a ferry since then?
It has been. This ship was one of the last ones that they built. They built this as a twin. There's another one in Ludington that doesn't run any longer. So we've been running since 1953, primarily, originally, just hauling railroad cars. And then in the 1990s, some new owners took over and we made it primarily an automobile, semi-truck camper hauler.
The trip only takes about 4 hours, and don't worry, there's plenty to see and do. After all, the trip is part of the experience.
They have just wonderful amenities here. They have Badger Bingo, which is very, very popular. I mean, it's free of charge, and people can play bingo and win Badger paraphernalia.
All right, we ready to play? Here we go. N32.
Hey, I've got a bingo round!
Look, I don't know, did you celebrate early?
They have an arcade, they have 2 restaurants, they have a bar, they have a maritime museum, they have a very, very unique gift shop. Just a variety of things that cater to the customers.
Boredom is not in your vocabulary.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's pretty cool to have something so special based right here in Manitowoc.
Well, I've been here on this ship for 17 years, so I've spent a lot of time in Manitowoc over the last 17 years, but Manitowoc is a great companion city to Ludington. It's a great place if you're going to vacation in Wisconsin to enter through Manitowoc.
Well, there is something to be said about watching a ship leave and come back.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think one of the unique things is that we have so many returning customers. Once they've experienced the Badger, they just, they want to come back and do it again. It's a great place to be if you want a little romance in your life, So
I'm in the right place then.
Yes.
If you want to learn more about the SS Badger Ferry or you want to start planning your getaway to Manitowoc, head to discoverwisconsin.com. Now get ready to channel your inner mariner, because up next, we're heading to the Wisconsin Maritime Museum. We're wrapping up our Manitowoc and Two Rivers visit on Discover Wisconsin. Since we're on the coast of Lake Michigan, it only makes sense that Manitowoc and Two Rivers have some of the best marinas and charter fishing around, right?
Anyone can come out charter fishing. We supply everything for the fishing, and all you need to do is usually bring a jacket along to stay warm, have a Great Lakes fishing stamp on your Wisconsin fishing license, and we're set to go. It's not just catching the fish. It's being out on the water,
You know, taking the boat ride, being able to get the different perspective of looking at the city from a different view. Every day is a new day. Throughout the summer, you know, there isn't really a best time to go. I always say the best time to go fishing is whenever you get the chance.
You can set out on your charter fishing experience or bring a pleasure craft of your own at either the Manitowoc or Two Rivers marinas. And if you'd rather spend time under the water, you also have the opportunity to go scuba diving for shipwrecks that are along the Lake Michigan coast. With Manitowoc and Two Rivers' rich history in boat and shipbuilding, it only makes sense that the Wisconsin Maritime Museum is right here in Manitowoc.
The museum offers a lot of family-friendly and individual draws to the museum. We've got many different galleries covering everything from the history of Wisconsin up through decades ago with all the shipbuilding and boat building. Also, we've got a number of hands-on activities like our children's waterways room, where families can come in and get wet, have fun, and learn how a lot of the local water features work. We're not just a museum with a whole bunch of dusty objects. We've got a lot of really cool things for people to actively do. One of our showcase artifacts is the World War II USS Cobia submarine. And with that, you can have guided tours of that, from a very basic guided tour, our nook and cranny tech tours in the winter, and also in the summer we've got our family overnight program. We actually can spend the night on board the submarine, or if you're part of a larger group, you can spend the night on the submarine throughout the year.
Spending the night on a submarine? Where do I sign up?
Oh, it's really cool because it's all hands-on. They get kind of the feel of what it's to be on the submarine during a patrol. And so they get to go through the activities, they get to be in the boat and climb in areas that they wouldn't publicly get to go through.
What's this button do? Oops.
There are 6 Gato-class submarine museums around the country. This is truly unique because they're on one that looks like it did when it was in the water during the war, not pristine and not glassed off. And so they really get a true feel of what these men went through.
I've never even been this close to a torpedo, let alone slept on top of one. Time to catch some seas. A unique holiday tradition at the Wisconsin Maritime Museum involves Santa arriving on a tugboat. Who said he did it all with a sleigh and reindeer anyway? I'm pretty sure there's a bunch we missed while exploring the Manitowoc and Two Rivers area. We just couldn't fit it all into one show. To see more bonus footage of the area, visit discoverwisconsin.com. We've been coasting for a while here in Manitowoc and Two Rivers. It's been super fun and really fascinating to learn about. I'm Mariah Haberman, whether by land, by sky, or by sea. I'll see you next week. For more information and bonus video from this episode, go to discoverwisconsin.com. And don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discover Wisconsin Radio all across the state.